Hey, what's going on? I'm Ed Fletcher, aka Major Sexy Pants, and this is a live stream in which I'm going to be talking about what we're calling the Spark Sculpture Park project. This is a Sacramento Valley Spark operation. I am the president of Sacramento Valley Spark, and I'm also a Sacramento regional contact as designated by the Burning Man Project. This, as of such, still has no relationship with the Burning Man Project. This is a Sacramento Valley Spark operation, and we'll see where it goes from there. We just had a very positive meeting with the property owner at 8th and K. This is the 812 K Street parcel. It currently is blocked by a plywood wall, which says Kings on there, but it blocks visibility into there. But the lot is still accessible. The developer will get into that, but let's talk us through this project. The purpose of this is to help kind of let the Sacramento Valley Spark community and the broader burner community know what's going on, with hopes that you can join us on this mission. If you're watching live, you'll be able to ask questions or prod me along in this conversation. If you're watching not live, we still may be able to answer any questions you have, either by emailing me or commenting on this presentation. So again, thanks for watching, and we'll get into it. One other thing I wanted to note before we move on: Sacramento Valley Spark is doing a post-burn event called Afterglow, November 18th at Sacramento Art Glass. There's a save the date on Facebook now. We'll also share that by our other channels, but that team is going. We've got most of the leads for that already. That we'll put out a call for other participation, but mark that on your calendars. November 18, Sacramento Valley Spark Afterglow at Sacramento Art Glass. Okay, on to the Spark Sculpture Park proposal. Previously, we'd been calling this the Sacramento Playa Art Park. We've sort of done a rebranding on it, in part because to differentiate it a little bit from the Reno Playa Art Park, and to sort of reflect that this may take a slightly different vision from what they did in Reno. Hey, Chuck's watching. Thanks for watching, Chuck. And please like and share this on Facebook. That way other people can see this presentation, and we can get some more eyes on this project. So the vision is to turn a temporary a vacant lot into a temporary art park. The location is at 8th and K, and we want to take this from a negative for the city into a positive for the city, with a space that's active and vibrant and cool. Our mission is placemaking, to really kind of capture this the vibrancy that Sacramento and the burner community can offer. We're creating an attraction both for local artists and for tourists, and we want to rejuvenate and really also empower the burner community. I'm really struggling with this because with the screen I'm seeing here, I'm having trouble seeing my own notes. Perhaps I need more screens, but we will press on. This is in large part inspired by the Reno Playa Art Park, and I wanted to share a little video about their project there. I mean, personally, I was inspired to try to do something like this from going to my first Burning Man, and seeing that there was amazing art that wasn't intended to burn, and knowing that much of it never finds a home, and they end up in backyards or in fields, or some of it goes to wineries, but more of it should be displayed in our urban environments.
So this is the Reno Playa Art Park. About 2 years ago, we were looking for a location to place Burning Man art in downtown Reno, and the city had knocked down some of these old motels that are down here, and it was going to be an empty lot, completely surrounded by fencing, and so it was going to be a blight area. So the city approached me to actually place the Playa Art Park here, and kind of change what would have been a blight area and turn it into an art park. So we did that last year. We had 7 sculptures from Burning Man, and then this year we increased it to 11 sculptures from the 2017 event. They came straight from Burning Man to Reno, and then were installed here in October. And we plan to do it again at the end of this year's Burning Man event. We'll be bringing in, and it may or may not be here, because if this lot sells, then we may end up in another area that needs love. So that's our plan for 2018.
So that is the Reno Playa Art Park. It really provided me with a lot of inspiration for what we could do here. I think our vision will blend more local art into the mix, in part because we don't have a plethora of projects that went to Burning Man that originated here. So to make sure that we're well, for many reasons, I think we need to involve more local Sacramento art. So let's get back into the slide here. A little bit about Sacramento Valley Spark. We started in 2012 with some of the theme camp leads and or people that were active as theme camps and the regional contacts coming together to create a 501c3 nonprofit that would have some staying power. And so far we have. We're a member driven organization that really kind of tries to put the spirit of Burning Man and the 10 principles to work in our local community. Um, and we, over the years, have done things that are kind of remote and much more kind of reflective of Burning Man. But we also want to do things in the city and potentially impact those around us, whether or not they know anything about Burning Man. So we're going to jump back into the another video here, and on our way to doing this, we reached out to multiple local communities here. Rancho Cordova was one of the most enthusiastic early supporters. We met with some city council people and eventually got a grant that was going to be the seed towards doing it in Rancho Cordova. We discussed locations there and ultimately couldn't find one that was suitable and available. And but in the meantime, we did this. We were supposed to do an on the park event. COVID came and we had to adjust. The result was Summer Spark drive through, and eventually what we did another follow up called Spring Spark drive through. But here's a little sampling. So that in a way was a decent taste of what we do sometimes. We put out a call to the burner community and say, hey, we're doing a thing, bring your toys. We also invited Sacramento artists to contribute to that and bring us things that are in the same vein. Sacramento has been, in our minds, building towards this. There was the uh, Art Hotel and Art Street, and there's been other installation kind of activities, but they haven't made that move from installation art inside to small sculptural art or medium-sized sculptural art outdoors. And we're going to try to help make Sacramento artists or help Sacramento artists take that bridge. Um, so our partner, one of our key partners in this, hopefully, will be the Yousefi Foundation and the Yousefi Trust. Ali Yousefi was a Sacramento developer that built low-income housing and artist housing, and he was responsible for the um, warehouse artist loft building on K Street. And his passing was very sad for the entire community because he was doing what so many hoped others would do. That was like build low income housing, support artists and arts. They also, in his honor, Ali Yousefi Square is the city park right next to the Golden One Center that they have the skating in and other kind of outdoor activities. So we're hoping to connect. Well, we've met initially with that uh, family about potentially using this 8th and K lot for our purposes, and really feel like we're of the same vein. They've asked us to write a proposal, so we're in that conversation now. Again, the mission is placemaking, it's activation, it's allowing the community to participate. Other benefits, it'll benefit local businesses, it will provide, promote tourism, and it will add to city vitality. It's a really key intersection there at 8th and K, and we want to see this activated. Key stakeholders, City of Sacramento. We've already have some communication with the mayor's office and received some positive feedback on the proposal. The residents of Sacramento are a key stakeholder. The Ali Yousefi project, the Downtown Sacramento Partnership, they have helped fund a Chuck Somerville installation last winter, and we hope that they're going to be key in helping us identify support for this project, both federal and business support. Local arts groups, the Assemblyman Kevin McCarthy's office, Councilwoman Katie Valenzuela, she's office has been very supportive, and we had a representative at our meeting. We anticipate reaching out to the Crocker Museum. They also envision doing some outdoor art in their park down the road that's been stalled by COVID and issues related to that. John Blair, Atrium 916, Verge Center for the Arts, BTU, Dwell Point, Advocates for the Unhoused, Sacramento State, and UC Davis art departments. That's something that DQ had talked about for many years, is how do we get local young people involved. I think this is a great way to do that. Let's talk a little bit about the artistic elements. We envision that many or some of the posts, the art placed there will have previously been displayed at Burning Man. It could be a mix of art that comes back from next year's Burning Man event, and also things that have been in storage or have been kind of hanging around, waiting for a good opportunity. But we also believe that there should be some locally sourced installations, and maybe those are things that were created for other things and come here, and hopefully those are things that are also created specifically for this place. The more people that have hands in creating this place, the more local buy-in we have. We anticipate potentially some murals on a shared wall, potentially augmented reality, projection art, but we also believe in like live art, flow, dance, circus. Um, we want to make sure that there's a way that it stays vibrant. And that leads into programming. We want to create pathways for daytime and after hours usage. Um, we potentially see local groups being able to host daytime events there, whether that's a yoga in the park or a paint and sip or other kind of activities like that. We also anticipate pre-approved guest-only night events, um, activities like again like yoga in the park, like tea parties, like disco, silent discos, or other events like that. There's a lot of site design considerations. We have to worry about fencing and security, on-site storage, hours of operation, lighting and power, permits and insurance and other amenities. We need to get some contractor types to the site and develop a plan about how to best utilize it. Cost and funding. We anticipate this costing between $80,000 and $200,000 a year, a huge variance because everything is dependent upon like how big your eye is. Some of the large pieces from Burning Man eventually have get significant funding from Coachella and other places like that. Some of that art costs a lot of money to make and a lot of money to move. So um, it's highly variable upon what we're looking for. It can be done with a lower budget, but it all depends on like how grandiose or how visionary we want to be in that, and how many kind of ongoing operations there. Are you renting? Are we putting a trailer on site or a cube or something? Funding we anticipate from grants, scholarships, and other kind of fundraising activities. There may be some um, American Rescue Act funds or other kind of government funds that we're working towards. This will require some grant writers and people that can help in this area. So looking for support there. Um, the timeline. Um, I don't want to talk through this, but pre-planning could be 2 to 4 months. Fundraising could be 6 months. Acquisition, if you had the money, it wouldn't take long. But you do need to allow some time to reach out and um, hear back and negotiate. And installation can happen relatively quickly if you've got the people and the know-how and a plan, and then the operation. We fully understand that this project pulls out when the developer is ready to move on to the next stage of their project. We're hoping that's well, from our perspective, maybe it's a period between 1 and 3 years, um, but it were flexible based on the needs of the developer. Community benefit. We believe this will help provide for a vibrant artistic space that local artists can showcase their talent, creating a unique gathering place for residents and visitors, boosting the cultural and creative image of downtown Sacramento, and reinvigorating downtown that's been really hurt by COVID and not having as many downtown workers reporting to downtown every day. This is where I make my call to action and say, how can you get involved? We need high quality images. We need video. We need simulations of what this might look like, because we've got to get people excited about funding this and really put together a detailed plan on how we're going to do this, uh, how we're going to get our portion of the fundraising done, and how we're going to connect with grants. Um, Love your feedback on what I've said here. You can put those in the comments. You can call me. You can email me. But I want to thank everybody who's watched this so far, but encourage you to please do get involved. Here's where we are on Facebook, Twitter, um, and we've also got multiple Facebook pages. We're going to be figuring out like how the best way to communicate and identifying the core team that's going to be involved in this pre-planning phase. We don't know the answers to a lot of things, like how much of the pre-planning stuff can be funded, how much can we fund going forward. We don't know yet because we're making our own budget and trying to figure out what makes the most sense. Certainly, we want to lean on volunteerism, but in some cases, we may need to dispense money to make sure things happen the right way. But we're figuring it out, and love to get you involved some way. So, if you've got any questions, now would be a great time. I'm not seeing many on Facebook there. If you've clicked the right buttons and given it your authorization, um, the it'll let me uh, put your questions on the screen. But happy to answer any questions you have now, and again, happy to answer any questions you may have later. But our main goal is to try to activate people around this goal. I will say, um, separately from this, we're also in early conversations with a developer that wants um, Sacramento Valley Spark to have a presence at a warehouse space that they have. We don't have a lot of money. We do have um, a strong community, but we need to make solid proposals and figure out if there's a way to make these things happen. Um, Ultimately, these could be run by spin-off organizations that are helping to um, move the community along. These don't all have to be Sacramento Valley Spark projects forever, but we're kind of maybe at the helm right now to um, uh, getting this done here. Chuck says he's open to showing the pyramid indoors like the wall. That's a good idea. So we'll try to work on that. Um, Hope everyone can share this video and help encourage involvement, says Facebook user. Yeah, thank you for that encouragement. I hope this is helpful in describing what we're trying to do with the Sculpture Park location. We're also excited about the warehouse possibility and maybe how those plans come together. Maybe some of the work that's done towards this Sculpture Park happens at the warehouse. And we also want to see you involved with Afterglow, November 18th at Sacramento Art Glass. So with that, I'm going to end the stream and thank you all for being here. Thanks.